What's going on, everybody? This is Future Automation, a place where imagination meets reality, and you're listening to Tejas. So, guys, in previous video, we have seen how we can use PyAutoGUI, Python, and Fusion 360 to work on the sketching part of Fusion 360 by drawing rectangle, circle, and line with some kind of menu options for some fun. So, in apparently we are moving towards a more deeper approach with Fusion 360, and we are trying to understand how we can go and automate most of the stuff in the software so that the designing part is only will only remain as a part of imagination, and other things will just work on our gestures and our commands. So that is what we are aiming for in this series. So let's move on. In this video, we are going to first have a cup of coffee, and then we are going to get started. So guys, in this video we are going to get a dynamic, what we can say, we are going to lay a foundation for a more dynamic approach for the upcoming videos where we are going to introduce OpenCV in this series. So stay tuned for all the videos, and those who are new can go and check previous videos in the description. I have provided the links, as well as the corner here somewhere you'll get the cards. You can check there. Move on to the next tab, open those videos, check them out, try to understand them, and then come back to this video so that it will be an easier understanding for you guys of what exactly is happening in this. Now, for those who are already having a sense of what we have done in previous video, let's move on. So basically in this video we are going to get some information about this site browser. Okay, so we are going to try to understand, or maybe we are going to figure out how we can leverage this site browser with use of each menu which is going to be dealt throughout the series, to understand the priority order, how each and every menu is introduced in this browser window, and how we are supposed to use them to hide, show, expand, collapse, and whatever. So all the operations that we are going to usually do with mouse, that all things we are going to do in this. Now, to do that, first we need to understand the pattern of this particular menu. So to understand the pattern, so first we are going to work with the priority order. Now to work with the priority order is in the sense, now here we are only having three menus which are to be used, from which we are not interested in the document settings, we are not interested in the name views, neither are we interested in the origins, because these three menus are by default provided by Fusion 360, and which are kind of used by the pro designers, I guess, because I'm not a pro designer. I'm just what we can say, in a phase of learning the high level of designing for my 3D printing work. So for now we are not going to deal with any of these videos, and we are not interested in it. So the menus which we are going to deal with are going to be introduced as we move on with the designing part. For example, if you are going to take a sketch, say for example, so we are going to draw a sketch here now, and we will select a plane, the bottom plane, and we are going to go with a small rectangle, you can say. Okay, so draw a rectangle here, go from here to, yeah, here can be fine. Now as you are done with the sketching part, you can see at the corner one more menu has been added, that is sketches. Now in this menu we will have all the sketches of the design that you have used for creating a 3D model. or for referring or for any kind of other thing that you usually will use the sketch for. So this is the sketch, and here you can see at the corner we are having an eye icon, so that can be used to hide and show the all the sketches. Now if you want to specifically hide a single sketch, say for example we are having this and we need to hide this sketch, then again you can see here that we are having an eye icon here to hide and show the sketch. Now moving to the next part, that is we are going to make a body from the sketch. So select the sketch, and you can use either the keyboard shortcut E to extrude, or you can use the extrude from the menu here. Both are fine. So selected extrude, and we are going to pull it up here and extrude it to somewhere around 530 30 mm, 10 mm, whatever you wish. So we have extruded it, and as soon as you finish the extrusion, you can see that the body here is added before sketch. Now quickly we will take a snap of this so that we need to understand here. So this is one part, and if I'll go back one step, here you can see the sketch was the last menu in all this menu browser, and as we move on to the next, that is we created the body, we observed that the body has been added before the sketch. Now if we are considering this as the priority order from here to here, so top being the highest priority and bottom being the lowest priority, you can see here that the body is having the highest priority than the sketch. So this is also something we need to understand while automating this stuff. Now the main, what we can say, the main objective of automation is to find the patterns and then automate them. So this is what we need to understand. Now next to that, we are having some construction planes here that we need to deal with while designing the 3D model. So there are a lot of constructions, and all are again organized in a menu called construction. So to check that, we are going to create a construction plane here, and we are going to click on OK. Now we are not interested in placing the construction plane here anywhere, because we are not designing anything. We are just trying to understand how each and every menu is organized and what exactly is the priority pattern here. Now you can see that the construction plane here is below the sketches. So the construction plane priority, if we are considering the priority order from top to bottom, is below the sketch. So here again construction planes are being added below the sketch. Now there is one more menu that we might work with while going through the series, and that is the components menu. So whenever we are completed with a part of design in whole design, so sometimes what we need to do, if the design is far more bigger than just a rectangle, just a square, or whatever it is, we need to divide that design in different components and then join the components as an assembly. So for that we create components from body. So to do that, we are just going to move this construction plane to the bottom. So move and copy. So we'll move this construction plane below. I think there is some issue here. Construction plane, move. Okay, we will just select from here, edit the feature. Okay, we can move it from here. So we are moving it to somewhere in between. And now when we go to the modify menu, and here we select split body. First we need to select the body, and then we need to select the splitting tool. Now splitting tool, in the sense, we need to select a base on which the software or the system will split that body. Now here we are having a construction plane, and using that construction plane as the reference, the body will be splitted into half, more likely half. Now we can hide this construction plane for now, and we can check that we are having two bodies here. One is this and one is this. So you can select the body number 2, and you can select create components from body. So once the component is created, we can just select this component and we can move it here and there. So now this is considered as a single diagram, you can say. So if now, for now, we are only having one rectangle, one box for both the sides, so we are not getting an exact idea of how components are going to work. But in the near future videos, we'll surely check with the components, because now we are not going to deal with each and every menu and its meaning. We are just trying to understand the pattern of how the menus are organized throughout in Fusion 360 with their priority orders. Now you can see that the components are added below the construction planes. Now here we can either go with the ease of understanding that this are either the priorities of the constructions are components are after the construction, or more likely components are kind of a different aspect of this whole 3D design. They are totally isolated from the other previous menus of sketches and constructions. They are not related to that, we can say like that. But I am not that kind of experienced in Fusion 360 to put any kind of what we can say judgment or any kind of opinion on this part, but we are just interested in the pattern. So for ease, we are considering that the components will always be after the construction planes. Now this is what we understood about the priority. Now we need to understand about the pattern or the way they are organizing these sketches. So okay, here if I'll increase the size, I think we can increase or not, I don't know. Okay, we'll just copy it and we'll select paint, and in the paint we'll paste it. I just need to show you guys that. Okay, so here we have the way we are going to understand the pattern is: number one, we need to understand what is the exact size of this each menu, and we are only interested in these three menus, so we are not interested in these menus. So we need to only understand what is the exact distance from the top to the bottom for the body. Actually we don't even need that, but for what we can say safer side, we are going to keep it. So we are going to find out this distance, and then we are going to figure out what is the size of each menu here. This, although they are created or not, we need to keep the information about each menu and what is the size of each menu, where this arrow is located for each menu, and whenever we are expanding this arrow, then what is the distance of the below menu from the corner. So that these all things, initially when we are coding for these things, we might need these things as a reference to automate the browsing throughout the browser menu. So this is it. I know the video is getting more and more lengthy, but I'm going to keep it too short, because this particular menu related video is going to be divided into two parts. Because for the first part, we are only going to deal with this understanding how the menu works, and we are going to try to automate only the more likely we are going to try to automate the data process, that is the positions of the menu, the pixels, and then we are going to try to create a script which will store this information, and then we can try for other stuff. Okay, so let's get going. Next to this, we are going to start with the coding part now. Enough with the explanation. Now, as always, we are going to go with the positioning part, understanding the positioning of the menus, and we are going to note it down. Now I want you guys to take a pen and paper so that you can write down the position of the menu, so that it will come in handy further while coding. So let's start the code. Okay, it has started giving us some position. Now we are first going to start with the top position of the browser menu, that is the file name. Here now it is showing unsaved, but once you save the file, your name of the file will be shown here. So we'll take an approximate value just for the reference right now. So you can Draw a small diagram in your pen and paper, uh, and just note down the pixels of that diagram. So here you can see that we are having 52 as x and 215 as y. So it is going like this. This is x and this is y. So 52 as x and 215 as y. Now from there we are going to go towards the body. So carefully try to place it at the corner here. Okay, so we are taking the approximate value just to understand how the pattern will work and whether we can create any kind of relation between the menus. Okay, so here we can see 74 and 334. Cool. Okay, now the bottom of the menu can be somewhere here. So 73 and 357, 73, or maybe we can keep the x as common because that is not going to affect our working. X, if x you can keep common, that is above we have created 74 and 334, we have taken down the node. Here also we can take the same 74 and 357. So if we try to take an approximate difference between these two, then we will get somewhere around 357 minus 334, 23. So somewhere around 25 is the exact size of this particular box of one menu. So once we understand that somewhere around 25 pixels we are having, and what is the distance of the gap, this is the gap. Now here if we are going opening the menu paint, you can see that if we zoom in a little bit, I know this is the pixels are getting disturbed, but here if you'll see we are having a small gap between each menu. So if we could somehow get the distance from here, that is say for example 73, or we can keep it 74 and 388 to 74 and 393, 393. Okay, so if we calculate that again here, so 3 393 minus 388, somewhere around 5 pixels. So you need to understand that here we are trying to create a pattern to create a relation between each menu. Now we understood that there is a 5 pixels of distance between each menu, and each menu is of 25 pixel. Now once we get a top what we can say top pixel, we can easily calculate the distance, the difference, and we can add it in the next menu. Now we know the order is bodies, sketches, then we have constructions, and then we have components. So if we are considering body as one, top pixel as one, then plus 25 will get the bottom pixel. If we want to go to sketches, then plus 5 we go to the sketch, plus 25 we go to the bottom, plus 5 we go to the constructions, plus 5 we go to the bottom again, sorry, plus 25 we go to the bottom, plus 5 we go to the components. And here you can see this side of the menu. I'll show you quickly with the diagram so that it will be easier. So here you can see that this side of the menu is quite uniform. It is in a single line. So for us, it is quite very easy to automate this part. So basically, if we get the access of this half part and we try to relate it with it, and we are dividing this part into two sections for hide and show and for clicking and unclicking, and then this part for expanding and collapsing, the arrow part. So we are only interested in the pattern of these menus, that is bodies, sketches, and constructions and components. Well, according to me, components is something that we are not going to use immediately, but we will be knowing the design already, that pattern and the structure of the menu, so that whenever we are going to come across the components while automating Fusion 360's videos, we are going to know that how we are going to deal with it. Now, next, so to create a code for this part, we'll stop the existing one first. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, now here we need to fetch the first point of x, and that we are having, that is 74 334. Okay, now for a better understanding that we are going at a good location, exact location, what I am thinking is we will add some 5 pixels in the starting point. So 74 plus 5, we will go for 79, and for x, for y, we can go with say around 25, so we can go with 15 pixels. Okay, so 15 pixels will be 334 plus 15. 334 plus 15 will be 943, 349. So first position of our cursor will be 349. Now, to move the cursor, as we know in the previous video, we have checked how we are going to move the cursor to a particular location. We are just going to pick up the code. I don't want to write the code again. You can check all the coding part in the GitHub repository. I have the links in the description of these videos, and mostly all of the videos where I'm storing my coding files and all. So you can go ahead and check the check check the files. So let's move to it. 79 and 349. Okay, so I think it should work properly. Let's see if it works. So run the cell. Okay, so here you can see with the 5 seconds delay we are moving, and here we were able to somewhat grab it to a position. Now here we are on the eye icon, so if I click on it, we can hide it. So this is how we are going to deal with this pattern or the design. To make this video so lengthy and to explain it to you guys so much, is the reason behind that is that before making the code of anything, we need to understand how exactly that process or how exactly that flow can work. Now here, if we are putting for x somewhere is around 85, then it will come in between the menu, somewhere in the menu, like more further eye icon. So here you can see the pixels are very small, so the difference, that is from 79 to 85, numerically looks more, but pixel wise it is too less. So if we are going with say 120 and we are going ahead with the execution, then we will see that still the difference will be not that bigger. So we will be thinking like that the cursor might go beyond the half part of the body section, but it is not going, because the pixel values or the distance between each pixel is too small to imagine. That's all. So here basically I just wanted to demonstrate you what exactly we are doing. Now what we can do is we'll keep a fixed value of x of this basic first menu, that is body. So let's create a variable body equals to body x equals to 120, body y equals to 349. Now you can skip this 5 second. I just have kept it to show you guys how the cursor is moving. If you want, you can keep it, or if you don't want, you can just skip it. Now body x and body y. Now this is one thing for body, so hash body. Now to move to the sketches, we know that the distance between one menu and the second menu is 25 plus 5. That is the difference between two menu and the total size of single menu. So what we are going to do here is we are just going to copy it again here as usual, control V, control C, and then we are going to add 30 pixels in body X, sorry, in body Y. X will be fixed, Y will change, so 30 pixels in Y. And I think we should keep this because we need to see how it is working out. Okay, so let's run it and see if what we thought is working, hopefully. Okay, there is an error. Oh, sorry, we need to select this too. Okay, so first it will go to bodies, and then it will go to the sketches, and hopefully it should work good. Yes, it is working. So what we have thought was the relation between the menus is working good. Now the next part will be that we will need to create a rule. What we can say, we need to create some rules about how we are going to enable and disable the menus with this eye icon, how we are going to expand and collapse this particular each menu, and then how we are going to understand which menu has been what we can say has been already added in the browser menu or not. For example, if I'm creating any kind of sketch, now the system is knowing that it is creating a sketch, and we are having a variable called is sketches on is equal to false. Initially it will be false because we are not having any sketch when we are starting the diagram, but once we are creating the first sketch, it will only work once, because once we create a sketch, it will be on, and every time we are creating a sketch, all the sketches are going to be involved in the same menu. So we don't have to every time make it true, it will be only true once. And this is not a feasible approach, I know, because the exact feasible approach will start when we are going to introduce OpenCV in this coding. Because in OpenCV we will be able to directly process the image of the current screen, what is going on, and we can identify whether the menu has enabled or not, and based upon that enabled or disabled, we know that the initial position of each the body menu, and we know how much we need to add it and where we need to take our cursor to perform that particular operation that we are expecting, say for example expanding the menu or collapsing the menu, whatever it is. So the main motto of this particular video was to make you understand that to automate fixed things, that is these menus or these upper menus, we just need to figure out the exact relation between each other, the position and the relation of the position and the menu. So say for example from bodies I need to go to construction, then I know that I need to add 30 pixels two times to go to the exact location. So this is what we are expecting and we are trying to deal with as we are moving further in the automation. This will help us ultimately in the point where we are going to automate the more hard designs and more hard operations, where these things will make the automation process more easier. Because here we are knowing we have already created the rules and we are just going to implement those rules in the videos. Okay guys, enough for this video. The next video we are going to start with the coding part, actual coding part, where we are going to create rules, we are going to access all the menus, we are going to expand, collapse, we are going to hide, unhide, and all this stuff, whatever we usually work with the menus. So this is what we are going to deal with in the next videos. So if you like the video, don't forget to like it, share it, and for those who are new to the channel, please do subscribe the channel. And if you have any kind of queries, comments, questions, any kind of coding related issues, you can directly contact me on Instagram handle, that is Future Automate. You can email me, I'll mention both the things in the description. Also you can put your precious comments, add comments, your any advices you are having, any project ideas, anything that will help me to improve my videos, or also if you are having any kind of compliments, surely add them in the comment box. They will encourage me to get to more videos and more series for you guys. And finally, if you like the video and if you're new, do subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and hit the bell icon so that every time I'm creating any video, you will get the notification of that. And as I always say, keep innovating. Thank you guys. Take care.